Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. My name is John Watts and I wanted to share with you a couple conversations I've had over the last few days and where I've been talking with people about their credit reports and going through a divorce. And it came up not necessarily in one conversation but spread out over a couple conversations. Somebody said, hey, look, my divorce lawyer or somebody else told me I should pull my credit reports. What's that all about? So I thought, well, I'll do a video on this. So let's put the question this way. I'm getting a divorce. Why is my divorce lawyer telling me to pull my credit reports? And what does that have to do with identity theft? Well, it has a lot to do with it. And the whole reason, or I shouldn't say the whole reason, but a predominant reason that I know of for divorce lawyers to say this is because of the rampant problem of identity theft. And look, I'll tell you this, most divorce lawyers never ask this question. I get the people after the divorce and there's a huge problem, and I'll explain. So I'm very happy that at least some divorce lawyers are talking to their clients about this, about identity theft. And here's the reality. Yes, somebody can send you a bogus email or somebody can dig through your garbage, but that is not the majority. I mean, the overwhelming majority of identity theft is from family or ex-family. I mean, think about it. Who knows your social security number? Who knows your date of birth? Who knows your mother's maiden name? Who knows all your addresses, your place of employment? In other words, when we are married to somebody, we know all the information we need to be able to open an account in their name. And we can have it sent either to the house and we make sure and get the mail, or sent to our office or P.O. box. And so that's where identity theft predominantly comes from. Now, it's not always just spouses. It can be boyfriends and girlfriends. It can be a son, a daughter who has substance abuse problem. It can be a caregiver for a grandmother, a grandfather. But you get the idea. And so here's the issue. A lot of divorces, they deal with a whole bunch of stuff. What do we do with the kids? What do we do with the house? What do we do with retirement accounts? But when it comes to credit card, a lot of times divorces say, okay, the husband will pay all the debt in his name, and the wife pays the debts in her name. And that can be reasonable. Now, obviously, sometimes that's unreasonable, but maybe people get married when they're in their 40s and they each kind of have their own separate finances. And so this makes sense, except what if your spouse opened accounts in your name while you're married? And maybe they were doing that for substance abuse, or maybe they were having an affair, whatever it is. And you don't know about it. But you just agreed to be responsible for those debts because you say, well, I'll take all the debts in my name. You take all the debts in your name, not knowing that you've got like 3 extra accounts in your name. And so that can be a real problem when those people come to me a year or two later when their now ex-spouse has stopped paying on those debts. And they say, hey, I got this Capital One and this Bank of America and this Chase account. These aren't my debts. And now normally with identity theft, it's not a problem because you're not responsible for identity theft. And we have other videos. I won't get into all the details of that. But the problem comes when there's a divorce decree where you promised a judge that you're responsible for those debts. And we can get around that, but it certainly gives an argument to the credit card companies, or maybe now the debt collectors, to say, well, hey, you told the judge you were responsible for those. So a solution is, I wish every divorce lawyer and I wish every divorce client would pull their credit reports. Do that before the divorce, do that during the divorce. Make sure you know what's out there. Well, what are you looking for? Well, obvious thing would be any accounts. We also want to see, are there any addresses that aren't yours? You're like, wait a minute, I don't have a P.O. Box 1234 in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, that might be a sign that something's going on here. Look at the inquiries. Do you have an inquiry from Capital One? And I'm not talking about if you have a credit card with Capital One and they do a monthly review of you. That's often called a soft inquiry. It doesn't affect your credit score. But, there's a car dealership, there's a credit card company, there's something that's a hard inquiry. In other words, it does affect your credit score. And you go, well, I never applied for that. Well, again, that might be a sign. You need to say, stop. Let's look into this. Let's make sure nothing's going on. Now, you might have identity theft and it's not your spouse. but it's better to be careful and cautious before you just go, oh yeah, anything in my name I agree to. So I hope that that's helpful to you. And if you have questions, comments, as always, put those below. If you like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button. And I know from time to time I get tied up in cases and get behind on doing videos, but I'm trying to do a better job, hopefully, of getting at least a video out a day. And so if you want to be notified when those come out, just subscribe. And if we can help you in any way and you live in Alabama, 205-879-2447 or alabamaconsumer.com. And I don't normally say this in videos, but it's true, and I get a lot of lawyers that contact us. If you're a lawyer watching this and you have a question, always feel free to get in touch with me, and I'm happy to help anybody that I can. Okay, everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.